Hey YouTube. Well, I'm going to start back my first video in quite a while. I actually have two updates we're going to be doing today. I've decided to break them up because I got so many in the past couple of weeks and had kind of a rough couple of weeks and I'm working a lot and my cat passed away on me unfortunately and I just really haven't felt like doing a lot of videos, which I've finally gotten to the point where I'm a little better about it now, but I just don't even feel like really owning an animal right at this moment just because it really broke my heart to lose that kitty cat. But we're going to not really discuss that too much because it's just a really heartbreaking situation and I really hate I lost him, but life keeps moving on, so I'm probably going to get another animal in the future, but not right now. I mean, just kind of dealing with it, I guess you could say, right now and saving a little bit of cash. But anyways, we're going to do a two-part discussion here. First part, I got these back when back a few weeks ago, and I decided I was going to make a video on it, and I ran way over, and YouTube slapped me on it, so I'm trying to go a little bit quicker on this version. But I'm going to go ahead and show you all first my DVD that I picked up on this one. This has been about 2.5 weeks ago or so. Yeah, right at 2 weeks ago now. But first thing I got was Beavis and Butthead, the Time Life collection, which has Butterween and the Beavis and Butthead Do Christmas special. Yes, these are both available on, well, actually the Beavis and Butthead Do Christmas is available on the Mike Judge collection that MTV later released. But as far as I know, the Halloween episode never has been released and put on DVD. So I went ahead and picked this up because I really do love the Halloween episode. It's pretty cool. I always love Beavis and Butthead, just the moronic humor of Beavis and Butthead. Mike Judge seems to be really great at just pointing out how moronic the humor is, but still just making you laugh hysterically at it. But really not going to go over too much with it. I will just show you the inside and show you a little bit of what this got going on in here, which, nice little booklet. Which really is more of a sleeve more than anything. It kind of gives you a listing of the episodes. If you want to read over the episodes, you can always pause it. I'm actually going to hit this light so you can get a little bit better view since it is broad daylight. But if you ever want to read what the episodes are, you can always pause the video and check it out. The Time Life ones are out of print. You can't really find them too much anymore. The place I got it from had them used for like $5 a piece. I'm going to check up on the on what episodes are on the disc so I could see if they're worth getting or not, since the Mike Judge collection has so much more anyways. Probably still end up getting them if there is stuff up there that's not on these, just because I really want to be as complete as possible with the Beavis and Butthead collection, and I don't foresee them ever releasing every single episode on DVD, sadly. Since the new show started, they have been putting them on, they put the whole entire season on DVD and put it out as Volume 4. So probably from going forward, you'll see most of the episodes, especially the way MTV is editing them now. But we won't go too much further into this because I've already spent like 3 minutes talking about it. We'll go next to the two Blu-rays I picked up during the same time. I'm going to first start off with Mel Brooks' classic sci-fi comedy, just parodying every science fiction movie ever, it seems like, but Spaceballs. It's basically a giant Star Wars love fest, but there are some hints of Star Trek, Alien, well, trying to think what else here. Star Trek, Aliens, even Planet of the Apes, which Planet of the Apes is just freaking awesome, but yeah. I won't really go over too much about it. I will say that the picture quality really surprised me on this. It's actually a very, very strong transfer for this movie. It's never going to look 100% great, but it does look really, really good on Blu-ray. It's a very solid transfer, probably the best this movie will ever look on home video, honestly, because sadly but surely I think physical media is pretty much dying, and movies, we're going to have to be stuck with movies being digital downloads pretty soon, sadly, but we won't really get into that either. Milk does a body good. But anyways, we'll go over a little bit about what's on this. There's some of the features on this real quick. Just trying to speed through this though, because I've got one more thing, and hopefully we can get through that pretty quick and go on to make the next video. So not really wasting too much time here. First, they got the special features, which is watch the movie at ludicrous speed, which you watch it in like 30 seconds. It's basically fast forwarding it through it like they did with the VHS tape in the movie. If you haven't seen this movie, the VHS part is hilarious. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Honestly, too, the VHS thing, this is the power wonder of Blu-ray. Well, VHS tapes, anytime I've ever seen this on home video, you cannot really read what the VHS tapes were saying on them. And on this, you can see all the little VHS tapes from the in the background there. I have like Rocky 1 through like 16 or 17. It's ridiculous, but it's great. And they've got all of Mel Brooks' films up to that point are sitting there on the shelf as well. You've never really been able to read it unless you saw the close-up shot before. But when they're just standing there viewing it and it's in the background, you really couldn't read it. It's kind of like with Ghostbusters, where you really couldn't see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man bag until I saw it on Blu-ray for the first time. Because I never really saw it in the theater either. But again, I'm rambling, so we will keep going. Audio commentary by Mel Brooks. Have not listened to that. Additional commentary tracks by Maugis and Denkis. I really butchered that, but I haven't listened to that either. Spaceballs, a documentary. It's basically about a 30-minute long documentary. It's standard stuff, but still has some pretty hilarious bits in there. In Conversation with Mel Brooks and Tom Meehan. Have not watched that. John Candy Comic Spirit Featurette. Have not watched that either, but John Candy was hilarious and really should watch that. Storyboard to film comparison. Watched a little bit of that. That's basically just showing some of the conceptual art and stuff. Conceptual art is actually really, really well done for this movie. Film flubs. I haven't watched that either. I've watched a little bit of the special features before I watched this, but not very many. 3 Spaceballs galleries behind the movie, the costumes and art. So I think that's actually what I might have been watching about the art and the stuff. The exhibitor trailer with Mel Brooks' introduction and the original theatrical trailer, which I've watched the theatrical trailer a billion times too. But we'll go ahead and go over some of the specifications for this as well. It's a widescreen 1.85 to 1. So if you have a widescreen TV, really very, very barely noticeable black bars, if hardly at all. There is a full screen presentation of this as well up here, which it's kind of pointless on Blu-ray, honestly. You have the full screen, but yeah, whatever. Thankfully, they give you the choice, though. Most you have to buy 2 when the age of DVDs, so thankfully, at least they give you a choice. It's a 50 gig dual layer disc, and it's an AVC codec at 32 megabytes per second. That's the average rating, which actually is very, very strong for an older movie, and that's actually really shows in the transfer. I highly recommend this. It's in the Best Buy $7 Blu-ray bin. I think it's like $7.99. I can't remember exactly, but it's well worth the price of admission there. Go pick it up. Never owned the movie, sadly, until I got it on Blu-ray, which is really, really, really shame on me. I think my brother had it. My ex-girlfriend had it, so I've been able to watch it throughout the years. But I've always wanted a copy for my own personal collection. And I'm going to post my collection video. Hopefully I can get that posted tonight too. As you can tell in that video where I'm talking for about an hour and a half straight, my voice gives out really fast, so I don't really sit around to talk a whole lot. So my voice is actually already starting to bother me just from the fact I'm talking for a long extended period of time. But we'll move on right along to my last Blu-ray, which I'm going to talk a little bit in depth about, and that is probably Captain America and the First Avenger. Probably one of my favorite superhero movies to come out in the last few years. Captain America was actually directed by Joe Johnston, who directed Wolfman and several other movies, but he directed the original Rocketeer movie, and honestly, that movie always just made me like light up in a bright-eyed wonder as a kid. It was just very, very, it had this spirit and spunk that I love to watch a movie with, and this right here has that on steroids. This is really great. I kind of wish they had not kind of rushed it along to get to the Avengers movie, which I understand they had to do that, and we'll talk a little bit about Avengers in a minute, but I'm going to go over some of the specifications here real quick. We have 2 discs here. We've got the Blu-ray feature film plus special features, a Marvel one-shot, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer, which has Agent Coulson driving down to, I think, God, I can't even remember where he was going. Going down to get, I think it was Texas, to get before he discovered Thor's hammer. And, it actually shows a little stick-up that he prevents, but it's actually really funny, and it's well worth checking out, in my opinion. Next up, the Assembly Begins HD. I think that's the end with the Avengers trailer right there thrown at the end. It's just a little 30-second like tease of the Avengers. But 6 featurettes in HD. There's all sorts of nice little things in there. 4 deleted scenes HD. Pretty much you could tell why they were deleted out, honestly, but it's still nice to check it out. Commentary by director Joe Johnston, director of photography Shelley Johnson, and editor Jeffrey Ford, and more. Not watched the commentary track yet. I've watched this movie probably about 4 to 5 times already. But watched it twice since I owned it. Borrowed it from a friend and watched it 3 times. So yeah, I've watched it 5 times since it's been out on Blu-ray. I did not get the chance to see it in the theater. I went and saw Thor instead, and personally I would have rather seen this in the theater, honestly. Thor's not bad, but this is actually a lot better personally to me. Thing I really like about this is Cap's costume stays pretty true to the comics, but it just looks so much more adorable. Joss Whedon, please just bear with me when I say this, that this is just my personal opinion, and if you like him, that's fine. But I've always felt that Joss Whedon was way overrated, in my personal opinion, and he just really does nothing for me as a fan of comics and science fiction and such. Just really, it's very bland, I guess you could say. But you know what? If you like him, that's great. I'm not really that honestly super stoked for the Avengers movie. The trailers look alright, but I really freaking hate the Captain America costume they chose to use for the Avengers movie. And I'm hoping beyond hope that the next movie will not use that costume that's used in the Avengers movie, because it just looks like made-for-TV garbage. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It looks like made-for-TV garbage. It's spandex. It looks terrible on film. It looks terrible in person. Certain things just do not translate well from comics to film, and spandex costumes are one of them. And the Captain America costume just looks terrible on film. I'm sorry, but that's just my personal opinion. They really should have stuck with a design pretty close to this. I really wish they'd showed him with the helmet on. I can understand why they wanted to do the full face thing, but they could have done it with a costume design similar to this. I really hate that Captain America walks around without his mask on throughout all these movies too. I really wish they could kind of preserve the fact that Captain America is a symbol and really shouldn't have to have a face, an everyman face, but be more of a symbol personally to me. But you know what? The movie still shines above that. It's just a little nitpick that I have, and I really highly recommend picking that up on Blu-ray. I spent a little more on it than I really should have, honestly, but honestly, I'm not going to find it used or new as cheap as I picked it up, so we won't really get into the pricing range there. But, yeah, it's highly recommended. I recommend all 3 of these. If you can find those Time Life Beavis and Buttheads, they're worth checking out if you don't have the Mike Judge collection already. But there are some things that aren't on the Mike Judge collection, so if you really want to check that out as well, it's really well worth it in my opinion. But I'm going to cut this off now because I'm already running at like almost 15 minutes and my time is almost up. But I'm going to get ready and start my next video while I'm uploading this one.